Greetings and blessings. Thank you for your presence here with me today. I am grateful for all the love and support upon this channel, and I am grateful for the presence of beloved Archangel Lord Michael here with us. So as we begin the session, let us ground our energy, expand our heart space, and be open and receptive to the overlighting presence and blessings of beloved Archangel Michael and his cosmic blue flame angels, that we may be held in the power and the love of the sacred fire, cosmic blue flames of cosmic light substance, of immortal purity, immortal power, and immortal protection upon our consciousness, upon our space, as we open our heart space, breathing in the light and releasing all discordant energies that does not serve our highest good, that is not in alignment upon our path. We ask Archangel Michael to cut away all discordant lines of force with thy cosmic blue flames of cosmic light substance of thy immortal sword of power, and we offer our sacred fire, light and love and gratitude to beloved Archangel Michael and his cosmic blue flames. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Archangel Michael. We are ever so grateful for thy mighty cosmic service unto this world and for thy mighty cosmic blessings and presence upon our life, forever loving us and protecting us with thy mighty illuminating sun's light. We are so grateful. We are so grateful. We are so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Adonai, Adonai, Adonai. So, today's session being the 5th episode, we are joined, as you are now aware, we are joined by beloved Archangel Michael, and we will be focusing on the topic of the art of maintaining boundaries and protection as the Ace of Swords, as the power of cosmic love in action. So, if you are new to this conversation series, this In Conversation series with Cosmic Ascended Beings, where in every session we have a co-host, a guest that comes in and we have these conversations. And so the way it works is I allow my higher self to be the active acting conscious presence, wherein I am listening intuitively to the overlighting presence of the co-hosts in attendance for that particular session. And so it is a three-way conversation, meaning I am having this spoken word conversation with all of us here, and also with the cosmic being that overlights my consciousness and that speaks to me where I listen intuitively. So, disclaimer, if I do have moments where I may seem to space out, then it is because I am listening intuitively so that I can relay it in the best possible coherent, comprehending spoken word. So, just a disclaimer in case you freak out, where my physical eyes may not be in control in that space and time where my eyeballs might just go off. I'm kidding. No, there will be no eyeballs, only the whites. I'm kidding as well. Okay, so you just have to find out for yourself. We will begin the session with a word that I want to use as the tagline, the tag word for the day. Ahava. Ahava. It is in Hebrew. It's a Hebrew term for I give, therefore I love. Now we will break it down, but let me just write the word so that perhaps you will be able to register it more properly. Ahava. Well, this is in Hebrew. In Greek, it is known as Agape. Agape is also, we will find it in the New Testament where it speaks of the love, the ever-loving present love. And of course, when we speak of love, there is the distinction, there is the categorization: romantic love, familial love, love of all kinds. But we are speaking of the all-encompassing higher cosmic love, and therefore what we know as Ohef in Hebrew, that is meant for romantic love, or the Eros. Ohef or Eros, they are the romantic love, which we will not be particularly be focusing upon today. We will be speaking on the higher consciousness of love. So, if you are tuning into this video, specifically if the title of the video has brought you forth boundaries and protection, then it is because you are upon this path of awakening consciousness where you are learning or have mastered within the spectrum of your awareness of how to maintain a certain healthy level of boundaries, or you are learning to master boundaries for one's own protection of energy, wherein this not just applies to just the sensitive empaths, but as beings who are enmeshed. We are all enmeshed in terms of the collective frequency, and therefore the protection and the boundary is imperative for whether you are an empath or you do not consider as an empath. That is okay. But if you are here and if you are very sensitive to the whole awareness of protection, then mostly you are an empath. And as empaths, we are very sensitive to energies in general. And so upon our path of awakening consciousness, the greatest challenge is to be able to maintain that, be able to feel safe and secure within our own path, yet be able to be in the fullness and in the truest essence of our being, whereby we are able to express and be and really live life to its fullest without having the constant feeling of really having to protect oneself, and therefore there's this two spectrums that we might see, whereby these sensitive or the awakening beings are learning to protect oneself, and on the other end of the spectrum we have beings who are yet sensitive to the energies from the hardened conditionings of life. And so either way, in both spectrums there is this well, let's say we don't want to walk around like military personals in our lives. We want to be in a sense all highly alert or highly very tough exterior, tough, as soldiers of light. The purpose is to be our truest form without having that stoic, militant outer shell covering. And when it comes to militants, I'm speaking of the hardened way of expression. And so, speaking of expression, there is a term that which I find it a bit funny, yet this is an ancient Egyptian Arabic proverb that speaks of the nature of human consciousness. Akre tel ma'rufi darbal bil kufufi, meaning, I'll give you the literal translation. The end result of a good deed is a slap with the palms. There's no reference whether on the face or on the head or on the back, but regardless, people in ancient times have also, because consciousness, regardless of which century we are in, humanity has proven through time and time the way the human lower ego can project. And so the end result of a good deed is a slap with the palms. So how many of you can relate to this experience where we have gone out of the way with an open heart, generous with our energy, time and materials, and with intentions, and only to receive a tight slap, metaphorically even, well, mostly metaphorically. And but if we look at the other variant translation, it says, knowledge delayed the path with palms. Well, we can only take this as the knowledge, in the sense, the intention, the true intention, the actual reasoning behind that was delayed by the by the hands, by the response, by the reaction. And what happens is that when there is, well, in the school of consciousness, in this earth school, we are all incarnated upon this plane with varying degrees of consciousness, in a sense, depending on the evolution of each soul. So we are a potpourri of consciousness, operating at a certain degree of awareness. And therefore what happens is that the way the divine makes us all, the collective, learn lessons, is that we come across people with varying degrees of awareness, and therefore sometimes there is a disruption with the flow, with the give and take. And if you consider yourself as a giver, then that means just by the very nature of being considered as a giver, that means there is on the other spectrum a taker. And if it is a giver, that means it is the individual that gives and gives and gives. And then if there's a taker or any the experience with different interactions in life, that means there is those taker. So it's sort of like an established imbalance of interactions, and therefore we bring ourselves to a position where we subconsciously, and even though we may not admit, because most of the times those giving and taking situations are people that we are closest to and people that we interact to. We are aware that enemies are not made. It's a highly rare cases where enemies are made with strangers. It's mostly with people that we are in close encounters with, proximity, where there is an exchange of awareness, time, space, continuum. So in this space, what happens, there reaches a level where then our consciousness, if you are the giver, and I am sure the ones who are all listening in tune, we are in this collective energy. If you've come here to learn protection and boundaries, it means for sure you are in the broad category of the giver. And so what happens, subconsciously we feel neglected. We feel every time we give and we are not reciprocated in terms of the energy in whichever form, then we feel it's unfortunately there is the illusion that gets formed that it affects our self-worth. And then what happens with self-worth, we feel like we have abandoned ourselves. That we feel that we have abandoned ourselves, of course, comes at a greater degree of awareness, of really focusing on the issue, but those are the degrees of it. And so when it comes to being of an empathic nature, if we feel that our needs are not met, but it is also just our way of beingness, of really wanting to give, then how are we going to be able to be in a space where we feel safe to give, yet we are also in a space of healed space where it is an outpouring space, and where we are also protecting ourselves from certain situations, circumstances where we are not allowing ourselves to be depleted. And so this topic, we're going to break it down into sections, and then we will come upon the conclusion of the integration process. And when we speak of the other side, the negative connotation of being a giver, it is because we have been accommodating, meaning we have been sometimes made to feel, or the dynamic itself make us feel like a doormat or being taken for granted, where our self-worth get affected, where we feel less than. That is on that affects, that it brings in more and more illusions of our self-worth. Well, another's reaction is not a true reflection of our true essence, of our true worth, but the conscious mind, while the lower ego mind, while trying to protect itself, tries to find meaning and reasons, and the meaning and the reasons, sometimes we arrive to the conclusion of feeling less than, or where we have to come to a space where we feel ourselves to be people pleasers, and all forms of subconscious beliefs, which gets deeply rooted into our psyche, sometimes that we are not ourselves aware. It's just that we feel this imbalance and we feel, worthless. And so what happens, the next degree that happens is to be like a militant character, where we become hardened and we become stoic in a toxic, unhealthy way, where we try to protect ourselves, and where we cover our true innermost essence. So that is on the other spectrum. We will now focus on pushing slowly into that space of the fullness, the wholeness. And so in this video we will be, I am guided to use, because of the very word of the Ace of Swords and Archangel Michael, always represented with the sword of light. I am guided to use the analogy of the tarot terms. And if you're not aware of the tarot terms, that's okay. I will be breaking it down. But this is so that we can identify the flow of energies between the masculine and the feminine. And so in the tarot terms, we are aware of the counterparts of the King of Swords and the Ace of Swords. And of course, there's the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords. And of course there is this hierarchical progression of the energies. King of Swords is the mentally balanced, intellectually, communication wise, expression wise, the firm, balanced, stable personification. And the feminine counterpart is the Queen of Swords, where it is the intuitive communicator, the intuitive expresser. And so when we speak of the King and the Queen in this context for today's video, we will look at it as the embodiment of both the energies within ourselves, meaning I embody the masculine and the feminine, both sides, and it depends on when to use, how to use. So for example, I am being the King of Swords when I am standing firmly, in a balanced state of beingness, and I am in my feminine essence of the Queen of Swords when I am having the clear intuitive knowingness, the clarity. And so we will speak on, we will utilize the word the King and the Queen as the feminine and the masculine aspects within our beingness. So what we're trying to accomplish in this video is to go from a space of, let's say, reverse King of Swords, imbalance, a bit maybe emotionally manipulative, from a place of wanting to protect, or unstable state of beingness, to the upright King of Swords, or from the reverse Queen of Swords to the upright Queen of Swords. And also keeping in mind that in terms of hierarchy, we only arrive to the King having graduated from the Page and being a Knight of Swords, the action taker, and the observer as the Page of Swords. So in this essence, speaking from my own personal experience, one of the biggest life lessons and the most challenging aspects of this particular lifetime for me was to have boundaries, and was also to learn how to protect myself in terms of energetically, because being a sensitive empath, we are susceptible to various frequencies even within the environment. The lesson was to arrive to a space where within the wholeness of my being, I am embodying both the king and the queen, wherein I am encompassing an energy as a wholeness, where I'm learning, yet still every day is a learning experience, as being the king of swords and the queen of swords, yet to be able to be in a space of ahava, to be in a place of all-encompassing love. So external, internal. We will focus on the boundaries, maintaining boundaries between the external and the internal. And we will wrap it up with the integration process. And I will also share beloved Archangel Michael's, how we can invoke his presence, his assistance. So we will travel all the way up to the wholeness. So I will share a few of my personal notes from my diary of my conversations with beloved Archangel Lord Michael, who has been assisting me in terms of maintaining, being able to be in a space of having better boundaries and learning protection from all external discordant energies that yet exist in this world. Being an empath, it's like there's this, if we don't learn how to truly protect our energetic space, our beingness, we are susceptible to all the unwanted external energies. And so we are learning now how to have that internal navigation system as well as the external navigation system from within the noise of the external world as well as the noise of the internal headspace. And so this is a diary entry dated 26th August from 2025. This is my study session with beloved Archangel Lord Michael in terms of having the understanding, the comprehension of being able to navigate in a balanced state of way where I can be my true essence, where I don't have to fall into that militant spectrum, but rather be in a space of having the right discerning intelligence, while also without losing my true essence, without allowing the world to cover up my true essence, without having the external noise of the world covering my true essence, to be the expression of love, because love is the core of our beingness. And so when we give from a space of love. And so therefore, when we speak of ahava or when we speak of agape, these are action words, meaning these are the expression of action, meaning this is the masculine principle of the expression of love. Ahava, I give, therefore I love. It means I am choosing to express, to extend my energy because I am loving, because I love, therefore I give. And so when we speak of the acting principle, which is the masculine principle, to take that inspired action, where does that come from? That comes from the core, meaning the feminine nurturing aspect, the feminine nurturing state of beingness. And therefore there's always the counterpart. So to be able to give and to be the expression of the ahava, that means there is the other counterpart where you're able to express as love. Therefore the love in action, the love in expression is ahava. But when we feel that we have to protect ourselves, sometimes we, from a space of wanting to protect ourselves, we can allow the feeling and the expression of love to be constricted from a place of fear because of the experience with the external world, where there was no equal reciprocity, where there was no Six of Pentacles, meaning there was no equal give and take. And therefore, for some reason, I'm getting all this tarot references. There must be viewers here who are well acquainted with the tarot. So to be able to be in a space of that equal give and take, we have to feel nurtured from within. To feel nurtured from within, we have to learn to be able to master that. Because at the core, let's say this is the external, the King of Swords. So what is the king protecting as the defense? Well, the King of Swords is protecting the King of Cups, meaning the heart, the core. So the king is protecting the heart. And the queen, therefore, exists closer to the feeling body, and therefore it is more of a system of defense and offense for the higher, greatest good in a constructive way of the heart to be able to be the expression of King of Cups, of emotionally stable, and as the Queen of Cups to be the outpouring of love, to be able to arrive at the expression of ahava, of akabe, meaning to be the expression of divine cosmic love, where the more we are able to be the outpouring of love, the more we are tapping into the higher frequencies of cosmic love, where thereby then we become as one with the fulfillment of love in action. And therefore our life, when we are in this state of being the love, the expression of love, that is when we are also in a state of abundance and prosperity. But what happens when, because of the external conditioning, we allow our heart space to be constricted? Then because of the restriction from within, there is also no inpouring of the cosmic love, nor is there on the cosmic level, there is no equal give and take. Meaning, when you are the expression of love, you are also pouring your love into life itself, meaning to the greater whole. And when you're able to be the direct fullness expression of love, then you're also able to receive greater blessings. As you sow, so shall you reap. So when we are in a space of being wounded and unhealed, then prosperity and abundance, regardless of how much we give, it's more like a state of depletion, whereby our growth also gets stunted. And so we will focus on the action of the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. When we look at a kingdom, the king is the one who protects the external security measures, and the role of the queen, if it's an active queen, will protect the internal navigation of the house, the home. So when we speak of the external, there is a lot of noise in the spectrum of our in our space-time continuity of this planet, where every being emitting varying degrees of frequencies, whether external positive projection or negative emission. Because we are very porous in nature, we are susceptible, and therefore this is when the King of Cups will come in. He will do the offense. He plays the role of the offense, meaning he will take out his sword if necessary to cut out all, external communication or external noise. This is the offense. If need be, he will cut out relationships or situations, circumstances to protect oneself, the integrity of the kingdom. And the Queen of Swords, her role, meaning the divine feminine within your consciousness, the role is to be the defense. Meaning, the King of Swords will stand in truth, meaning the truth of one's being, the truth of one's true self. And if any external noise that comes in, intentionally, unintentionally, that seeks to destroy that truth, he will raise the sword and cut it out as the offense. But to be able to do that, there is also the internal alarm system, which is when the Queen of Swords, because the feminine aspect of our sense is connected to the intuitive nature, the internal navigation system or the internal voice. Therefore, the Queen will protect all the affairs of the home, meaning the affairs of the heart and the mind, the feeling body, the physical body. She will be in tune to the internal system, where if there is any external noise within the head, she will seek to cut it out. When we are so used to repeat offenders, repeat energetic patterns where we feel used and abused, automatically our system builds a defense, and sometimes the defense system can go against our very nature, whereby when we feel like we are putting up boundaries, that very boundary, or since we are using the analogy of the sword, when I have if I am not consciously aware of the working mechanism of the lower ego, then what I think is a sword that protects, that seems to protect me, sometimes, and most times actually, will be the very sword that also hurts me internally. Meaning, when we are not standing in our true essence, the very system or the mentality that we have built will also be our own detriment, because that particular sword will also disrupt the flow of our energies or our true expression. And so one of the lessons that I had to also learn in a very heartfelt way, being born with an open heart chakra, one can tend to live from a space of the heart rather than the mind, and the heart is the operating mechanism, and therefore, because the heart then is also susceptible to be more prone to be more hurt, what happens is that you build that defense system where it's like the smoke alarm that that can just randomly go off, or it's like the the alarm system that can go intruder alert even at the slight tiniest drop of a needle, whereby you cocoon yourself in a space where it forms a sort of an illusion. It's like wearing a mask, meaning not being your true self just to protect. And I'll give you 2 examples from my own experience with certain people that I felt was not where I didn't feel safe enough. Let's say in simple words, I would allow my voice to be I'm talking about the nearest example of the physical expression. I would allow my voice to sound so stern, just so that they would not take advantage of the softness side of myself. And so it was very taxing. It took more of my energy in terms of that. It was a projection of my wanting to protect. And the other was that because of certain patterns that I've observed with certain people, so now all their actions become like, even if they may come from a space of a neutral space, I can tend to overreact or overthink within my own feeling body, where, oh my God, if this person is expressing something, is there an ulterior motive to this? Is there where is what is the underlying energetic attack? It's like in a constant state of, one can also use the analogy of PTSD. It's like post-traumatic stress disorder, where it's like you're putting yourself in a constant state of wanting to be in a space of protection, because your entire life you've been so open that you felt like you have all this 10 of swords, all sort of swords, and then you're upon your healing journey, and now suddenly the whole world seems to be coming at you. You just want to protect yourself, and therefore then you thinking you're putting up boundaries and walls, whereby now there's no flow of that energy, where you're not able to express your true being, in your true essence, being in your true nurtured state, because when you are feeling that restriction, then that means you're also not nurturing that flow of energy within oneself, and therefore even your own expression or your own becomes then a projection of wanting to protect. And so the dynamic of it becomes very nuanced. But if we pay close attention, it is only from a space of wanting to protect oneself. And so there's this right way of protecting ourselves, meaning to have to be able to be in a space where we are able to discern. We cleanse and purify, we cleanse our energy or mental state as a daily habit. Therefore then we are clearing out the noise and the projections of other people's energy as well. It's because sometimes as an empath, you can feel another person's feeling, and then the conscious mind sometimes tends to think that it is you thinking this, it is you feeling this, whereas it is an absorption of another person's energy or projection. And therefore the King of Swords is to make sure to cut out all discordant energies by upping your cleansing practices, cleansing of energy through the violet flames, as well as calling in Archangel Michael to cut away all the energetic discordant. You have to allow yourself to be, of course, in a state of surrender to cut those cords. Meaning Archangel Michael can cut those cords all day long, but if you're not allowing yourself, if you're not taking the action as the King of Swords to make sure that you are cutting certain perhaps habits, certain indulgences, or certain people, places, even circumstances that does not serve your highest good, if you are not taking that imperative action, then the external fort, your external kingdom is susceptible to higher degrees of energetic attacks, which actually is just an absorption. We feel like we are under attack because of the constant onslaught of the energies in, through, and around us. I will give the qualities of the sword of light. There is this qualities of the sword of light. It is precision. There is the sharpness, because you can't cut anything with a blunt knife, with a blunt sword. So we have to be sharp, but the right sharpness that comes with discerning intelligence, which we ask for a higher self. And there is the stillness of the mind, and in that stillness there is the alertness as well. So the other quality is to be in a state of alert, and the other is to be awake, awakeness of the inner workings and the external workings of the world. And there is the awareness having the right boundaries at the gate from enemies. And in terms of enemies, I use this term very broadly, because it can be intentional and unintentional projection from other people. Some people in our lives, they may hurt us knowingly, unknowingly. Most times it can come from their own space of unhealed projection, and therefore they're also doing what they think is the right thing, but it comes from a space of that illusion of also the conditioning of their own experience, and therefore it's like a whole mix. It's a whole enmeshment and entanglement of energies in the quantum space, whereby to be able to really loosen oneself is to pick up this sword of light through the precision, through the sharpness, through the stillness of the mind, because it is only in the stillness that one is able to be alert to what is the actual reality, to be awakened to the truth of the nature of the workings, and to be aware. And in those 6 qualities, we are also able to exercise as the Queen of Swords, meaning in the stillness we have intuitive truth, and then in that intuitive truth, we are able to exercise the right protection in the true knowing. And as the feminine principle of intuition or knowing, it comes from the space of power of silence. It is in the silence that we are able to really hear to the internal voice, rather than the mind with all its entrappings and with all its trimmings. It is in the stillness that the true voice will speak. And it is this particular quality of that stillness that allows us to arrive at one of the greatest, the 7th principle of the sword of light. It is knowing when to hold peace and the stillness in truth. Meaning when to raise the sword and when to keep the sword in stillness, whereby we do not make the mistake of keeping and surrounding ourselves with the wrong energies, yet at the same time we do not make the mistake of cutting out energies or allowing ourselves to be so shielded and protected whereby there is no inflow of energies. And in practical terms, when you are confronted in a situation, you will know when it is the right moment to speak the truth, to be the expression of the truth, and when to just hold back in the stillness, in peace, as just the observer, and allow things to be in a state of acceptance, from a space of acceptance. Because like I said, from my own experience, I realized that I had allowed myself to a space where I was highly alert, meaning highly strung to protecting myself, that I was also restricting the flow of energy of expressing my true essence as love in action, of being the ahava, from learned behaviors with experiences. It is that space where we allow sometimes certain illusions to build, and so that is when the Queen of Swords will come in, when we take that moment to just be in a stillness and to cut out all these illusions, where we are not creating false illusions, where we are listening and hearing the voice of the truth. So therefore, we take space in meditation and holding in stillness to be able to hear the voice of the heart. The voice of the heart is always the path of love, that is love. And that allows us to be our true selves, where we are able to remove the mask, where I can be in a space of loving and nurturing without fear that somebody will take advantage of it. Because I am safe with the external protection that I've built for myself, because we only have this protection system in place so that we can be our true selves. Of what use of having all this defense system at play if we cannot be able to express what we are truly protecting? We are protecting the heart in its purity, in its essence. To be in a space of being the pureness of our true essence. To be in a space of a childlike purity and innocence, whereby the projections of other people's action or from our own learned behaviors of wanting to react from a space of experiences, we do not allow illusions to be built, where we do not allow the purity of our essence to be merged. Therefore, we can go forward as being in that innocent childlike essence, where we are curious about the world. The Page of Swords, in a sense, to be able to look at the world, view the world from a space of what can I experience in this world, rather than, oh my God, this world is always out here getting to me, and therefore it just really affects our beingness. And therefore, in this, what are we able to arrive at? The qualities is the confidence to reveal one's true essence through the safety and the security. And therefore, we arrive at a space where we know that we have there's nothing to prove or to hide. There's a space of transparency, where we allow ourselves to be in our true essence, to bask within our own true essence of energy, to be in a transparent space. When we look at the nature of transparency, the very nature of transparency is, it is see-through. Meaning, if there is something in it, meaning the discordant energies, if we use it as an analogy, if there's discordant energies, it is like a blockage. So when there is blockage, light is not permeable into it. It becomes non-permeable. Meaning, to be transparent in life is also to have free-flowing energy, where there's no obstruction. And also to be our true selves without the external projections of mask, because the external projections of mask also becomes an identity, unfortunately, which is not our true identity, because then the identity comes layered as a form of shame from the place of self-worth, where we feel that we have been a doormat. Then there is that factor of being ashamed of allowing life to happen the way it did, or of allowing oneself to be in that space of being a doormat. So then it comes again as a layer of identity. And so therefore when we allow all the noise to be cut out, we are able to go down to the true core from a place of acceptance and to the flow of the surrender of external protection through the trust that one is able to take the right action. Meaning the greatest challenge for oneself upon this path is to be able to truly trust oneself, that one can really protect oneself in the right way, and therefore arrive at the space of empowerment, of the power of truth that brings us to a state of cosmic love. And so therefore there is another diary entry that I will share with you. This is from 23rd March 2026, where Archangel Michael taught me the quality of the Excalibur sword of the I Am presence. The Excalibur sword, we have heard a lot of mentions from back in the days of King Arthur and the sword. But in this context, we will focus on the quality of it, in the sense, the I Am presence, when exercise the Excalibur sword, the essence of the Excalibur sword, it is the I Am. The Excalibur sword, clearing all forms of noise within to without. Meaning, the Excalibur sword in this case, it is going from within to without. Meaning, all that noise, all that built up in the mental space, we clear out from inside out. I am the Excalibur sword, clearing all forms of noise within to without, the mental body to the manifestation of clarity of truth and power. Meaning, when there is the clarity, please excuse the noise, the external noise. So when there's clarity from the inside, we are also able to be the expression in the outside. Meaning, when your own mental head is balanced, the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords in tandem, cutting out from the inside, then the King of Swords also comes into action through the clarity and the truth from the power of standing, of taking the action, the power of the I Am presence, the power of God in action. Because when we speak of defense and offense, and when we exercise the true power of God, it is to defend one's honor, and not one's human self, lower ego, but one's honor of the truth of beingness, the truth, the essence of our beingness, of being a being of love. So therefore, the defense and the offense for one's honor, one's essence of one's I Am presence, one's higher self's true essence in expression, not of the human self, but of one's truth of beingness, of life, of love, and thereby life itself. Because when we look at the intricate nature of all the energies at play, when as the entity, as an of love, as a being of love, when we are expressing from inside out the true nature of our beingness, the energy is contagious, which is also if it is a polluted world, we are needing the protection and the boundary. But in turn, what happens is that when we are emitting this love, then we are also emitting we take a pause in stillness from all the external noise. So we are also emitting love. We're emitting the frequency of love and peace and clarity. And thereby, then we are also cancelling out the noise of the environment. I mean, if you have noticed in certain chaotic situations and where everybody seems to be going at each other, if you take a moment and if you allow yourself to be that person in that, if let's say there's a cat fight going on between certain individuals, if you are that person that holds the stillness in peace, somehow that energetic signal, that frequency reaches to those beings in that environment. If you are in close encounter, they will feel it immediately, and you will be the peace emanating presence, whereby even their nervous system will calm down, if they are receptive, of course. If not, then that's another different story. In that case, we cut it out by allowing ourselves to remove ourselves from that situation, and well, we become then the expression of movingon.com. So this is about sharpening what Archangel Michael shared to me that day. This is from the 26th August entry, is that to sharpen until it's eternally crystalline sharp. To sharpen until it's eternally crystalline sharp. The sharpness is about the clarity. The sharpness is about the right action through the right feeling to protect the right essence of one's beingness. And so I mentioned about energetic clearing, spiritual cleansing, energetic cleansing. You can call in Archangel Michael, and also you can use the affirmation which he has shared: I am the resurrection and life of Archangel Michael's Excalibur sword of light of the truth of God. Meaning the truth of your true essence, your I am essence. You can use this to allow yourselves to ground this energy more and more. You can call in his assistance, and I will bring in an example of the expression before I get to the aspect of calling in his assistance. Give me a moment. Say hello. His name is Laura. So I am bringing him into the story to bring an example. Oh, he just had his bath. He's all shampooed. Heaven must smell like him right now. So Laura Boo, his name is Laura. His first name is Laura. His last name is Boo. Boo, from my indigenous dialect, is an extraction from Tambo. Tambo means elder. So Boo is short for his surname. So Laura Boo. And of course his nickname is Boo Boo. Now I'm bringing him the example when it comes to his name, and well, I'm sharing all his personal details because he is safe, he's protected by Archangel Michael. But of course I'm not going to share his social security number. So Laura Boo I am bringing him as an example. When I am expressing safely in an energetic space, then I tend to use the nickname Boo Boo. Oh, my Boo 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 Boo. But when he exists to disrupt my state of calmness, then his full name comes into play. Sometimes it comes off as Laura Boo. Laura Boo, don't stop it. And when I call him just to feed him, it's like Laura. So then it's like the way I use my intonation is also in the energetic space between the expression of that feeling, of that awareness. And so I say this as an example because the term, the expression is being able to be that awareness of that feeling. And so there came a moment where I allowed myself, even with those people that I felt like I had to protect myself, I brought myself to a space of being the expression of love in a softened manner. Meaning, my spirit guides, at a certain point after I had learned the art of boundaries and self-protection and cat hair, from a space of that expression, then there came a moment where they said, I dare you, we dare you to be your true expression, even with those beings where you're able to express your true self, knowing that you are protected. Meaning where you are able to be in that space of surrender, that irrespective of whether you are thrown in the gallows or the pits of hell, are you able to maintain your true essence. Meaning, even with those beings, that the wounded ones, for example, where they are projecting and where I feel I have to protect myself, if I am my true self, you will immediately notice the shift even within your own consciousness. And that is where we allow ourselves to be the peace emanating presence, where the we dare you from my spirit guides was where I allowed myself, knowing that I'm protected and knowing that I can be my true expression in the softness of the expression of love, to be able to have that safety and security. Meaning it was a test of whether I truly trust my own system, whether I could truly trust the internal and the external system that I had set up in place. The true test of this system, whether it's working or not in a cohesive way, is to be the true nature of oneself. Meaning to be the love presence even with people that you feel may be a bit, maybe there's just so much cat fur everywhere. To be that expression of that love, even in a space where you otherwise would feel threatened. Meaning to be in this world but not to be of it. Meaning knowing that there are external distortions, yet to truly stand in your essence, knowing that you have your internal system. So what's there to worry, where we don't allow ourselves to operate from a place of worry and fear, because those frequencies are so low that then it also blocks out the incoming frequency, because likes attracts like, and therefore we are able to, when we are able to be the true essence, we're able to shift from the Ace of Swords to the Ace of Cups. So in that Ace of Cups, we become the outpouring of love, and we also become the emission radiating presence upon this world as the love presence. And so the invocation and the affirmation which I gave, the affirmation I gave, but the invocation is Archangel Michael invites you to call upon him and invoked the cosmic blue flames of cosmic light substance to shield you and protect you. And therefore, I will share a short invocation prayer or a calling, meaning a decree to call in his assistance. We always address from our I am presence. Mighty I am God presence. Mighty my beloved higher self, my holy Christ self. Please be the active, acting, conscious presence. Through my I am God presence, I call upon beloved Archangel Michael and his cosmic blue flames to come and enfold me. To enfold me with thy mighty cosmic blue flames of cosmic light substance, to protect me, to shield me from all the discordant energies that yet exist in this world, from the projections of people's unhealed energies, to protect me from all external energies and entities that is not of cosmic light, cosmic divine love. Please cut away with thy mighty sword of light all discordant energies that does not serve my highest good, that is not in alignment upon my resurrection of my true self, my I am God presence. And please continue to build your wall of cosmic blue flames of cosmic light substance in, through, and around me, that protects me, that shields me as a mighty cosmic shield of invisibility and invincibility from all discordant energies that yet exist in this world. And cut away with thy mighty sword of light all discordant energies and energetic interferences, energetic cords that may be seeking to attempting to enter into my energetic field, that may be seeking to disrupt my energetic flow, that may not serve my highest good. I am so grateful, I thank you, I love you, I bless you, and I accept this mighty cosmic divine interventions of thy sacred fire love, of cosmic light substance, of cosmic blue flames, now fully active, and manifest in my consciousness, in my being, in my life, and my world. I am so grateful. Almighty Christ I am, Almighty Christ I am, Almighty Christ I am. Or beloved I am, beloved I am, beloved I am. We begin with addressing our I am God presence. We ended with our addressing our I am God presence. And of course, as always, as per the cosmic law of as you sow, so shall you reap. As you begin this invocation, you can focus upon your heart space, drop down to your heart space, and offer your cosmic light, cosmic love and blessings to Archangel Michael. Because then you open that passage from your heart space to the cosmic love, to all that is, to the higher frequencies of love. Because when you open this outflow, you're also able to receive it through the cosmic law in action. That is, as you sow, so shall you reap, and therefore what you have given out, you will also receive in greater measure. Trust me. Most times, the amount of love that pours into us through our very act of, in whichever capacity that we give, it is always the divine. It is always nurtured and given back to us in 1,000 and million times multiplied. And therefore, that is, I think I have covered all the points that I have been guided to share. I made a certain few notes to share so that I don't make this into a Lord of the Rings trilogy. There's just so much to share when it comes to energetic projections and protections. I mean, this is also the only time I express. Most times, the only times I am speaking verbally is when I am talking to my little munchkin here, and another one to Totomo. This is Lorabo, and that is Totomo. Most times I am mostly in the silence, and well, this is speaking of the energetic boundaries. I have cut off all my, I don't have other social media platforms, and also my external communication to the world is just this purely this sessions. And therefore if I get joshed up with and the throat chakra gets activated, I don't want it to be an overflow, an outpouring of a session that spans into a 3-in-1 Lord of the Rings duration. Therefore, we will end this session. I am so grateful for your presence, and I hope I will be able to bring in more of this expansion of boundaries and protection on a higher awareness of a higher frequency in the next video whenever I'm guided to share. I extend my gratitude, my blessings, and ultimately we're all trying to arrive to a space where we are able to be the expression of love, where we are able to freely be the expression of love, be the expression of life, respective to anything and everything, whether it be within our internal circles or whether it is with the external worlds. We will choose to be love because that is our birthright, that is our spiritual inheritance. Because through the expression of being love, we are also allowing ourselves to be in a state of abundance, of prosperity, of life itself. So, greetings again in the name of cosmic love, and blessings through my I Am God presence. In the name of my Holy Christ self, may you always be sheltered and protected by the highest frequency of the love emanating presence from the space of infinite Father, Mother, God, Source, illuminating light, cosmic divine love. Bye. I'll see you in the next one.